6 people have been confirmed dead in wildfires in Hawaii, which have been described as apocalyptic, as people were forced in some instances to jump into the ocean to escape the flames. Joining us live now from Maui is resident and business owner Clint Hansen. Clint, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. It's good to see that you're well. How bad was it?
I've never seen anything like this on the island. Maui is one of the most sheltered places in the world. It's why everybody wants to come here to enjoy our perfect weather. And it's been close to 180 years since we've been hit by a hurricane, and this one missed us too. But it passed to the south, and the sheer winds of the Big Island didn't break it up. This big mass of wind came through, and the day before yesterday, there was a fire in Lahaina. They thought they had it under control, and then another fire broke out in upcountry from, down power cables. A lot of our crews were up there working and dealing and evacuating with people up there, and the fire down in Lahaina started up again. There's now 3 distinct fires that are on the island, and the one in Lahaina was obviously the worst. It came through with such ferocity and burned so quickly in a matter of hours. Pretty much all of Lahaina is gone. All of Lahaina town is a big historical center. It got so hot that even the harbor has burned the boats to the waterline. There are videos that are so graphic in nature that they've been taken down online where people have succumbed to asphyxiation and dead in the streets. There is people that were driving through at flashpoint fires where everything was on fire and they barely escaped, incapable of opening their doors, or they would be succumbed to the smoke themselves. Friend of mine, Kelly Bryce, who owns boat companies here on island, is dealing with some of the community rescue efforts. Last night, he's crashed now because he hasn't slept all day and all night. So he's sleeping right now, but he rescued close to 50 people. The ambulances are coming out of Lahaina packed to the gills with people, riding 6 to 9 minimum as they go to the hospital, deal with burn victims, children separated from their family, people who can't get in contact with their family, friends that I know who have lost their house and just know that their pets are probably gone. We are having a really hard time connecting because all the infrastructure is burned to the ground. So we don't know really how bad it is. But as far as we can tell, it's pretty much total devastation right now. And Maui has been dealing with actually a state of emergency already. Hawaii in general, the governor has called in a state of emergency because our housing is so short. Maui alone has a shortfall of 10,000 homes. And now this is going to exacerbate that issue. I don't know what they plan to do about that disaster scenario, but we need homes and we need them now. And they don't issue permits really fast because there's a big shortfall in the amount of employees in the county. So we do great. The hotels are in great shape right now, but we're urging people not to come to the island for the next couple of weeks. Probably those hotels will be emergency housing for the people who have lost their homes until we can figure out something else. So if there's anything you can do, please reach out to Maui United Way and the Maui Food Bank. My favorite charity is Friends of the Children's Justice Center, and there are going to be a lot of kids that have been separated from their families, so please consider donating. I've got a lot of friends and clients from Australia, so I really thank you for all the calls and support that we've been getting from your people. I know you're very familiar with fast-moving fires, and I appreciate all the support.
No, we are, and Hawaii, in particular Maui, a very popular destination when it comes to Australian holiday makers. How are you, Clint? I mean, were you close to it all, or were you kept a little away? How are you coping?
No, I just missed the major part of the Lahaina fire. I had a client that I was meeting out there for closing on a house and going through an inspection report, and I told him, I'm like, you're not going to get power for probably a couple of days with how many lines are down. I'm getting out. He's like, you think a restaurant will be open? I'm like, no, you just go to a grocery store, grab whatever you can to get through, but I'm getting out. And I got home. I just got out in time before the major fire started. And I went in and a fire started in Kihei after that point. And we were freaking out because the winds hadn't died down. Fortunately, Kihei and Wailea are pretty sheltered from the wind. It happens where I filmed in one spot and I wasn't able to go more than a few hundred yards. And then I went to another location where it was just behind the hill And that's when I was able to get the footage that everybody's sharing. And fortunately, the fire burned to a point on a gully and created its own fire break and then changed direction. So Kihei seems to be out of the worst of it, but with these winds that have picked up today, with the winds that have picked up today, it is wouldn't be a surprise if it started back up. So we're all just holding our breath and hoping that nothing serious happens. But I've got a long list of about 30 addresses that people want me to drive by to see how things are doing. But dozens of apartment complexes and businesses are gone.
Awful. And just look at those pictures, just absolutely incredible. Hey, Clint, I know you're busy, man, but thanks so much for your time this morning. Hope you and your friends and family are okay, and best of luck. And we'll be sure to share your thoughts and your warnings and any help that we might be able to provide. Thanks, Clint.